I have been missing in action for the past 2 Fridays, and I really hope that you've noticed. Because if you haven't noticed, then I really need to work on making better content. A little over 2 weeks ago, I landed in the hospital at 1 a.m. on a Sunday and had to undergo an emergency laparoscopic surgery. By God's grace, I was lucky to get there on time, get good care, and make a quick recovery. And later, lolling in bed gave me ample time to catch up on my reading. I have plenty of books to share with you. Let's start with a book that reveals 9 hidden ways in which our day to day life causes us to fall back on unhealthy habits. It also shows us how to take back control so that we can make healthy changes that actually last. In Make Changes That Last, physician Dr. Rangan Chatterjee gives us simple techniques for reducing our reliance on the outside world and taking our long term health and happiness in our own hands. The book was especially appealing to read while recuperating, but it is a great read for any and everybody interested in their own health and well being. Let's switch on the reading lamp. Hello, Masavri, and on this channel, I review books and talk about reading in general. Let's take a look at the details of today's book.
Facts and Figures.
Make Change That Lasts is a non-fiction self-help book in the health and fitness category, written by Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. It was published in January this year, 2025, by Penguin Random House UK. The book is 272 pages long, available in paperback, Kindle, and an audiobook edition narrated by the author himself. The link to buy the book is in the first pinned comment and in the description below the video. Now, no spoilers, no worries, just
The cover story.
the central idea in Make Change That Lasts is of minimal reliance. Without really being aware of it, we all have different things that we rely on in order to feel calm and happy. In 9 different chapters, Rangan Chatterjee gets us to start thinking about different kinds of emotional triggers as our reliances. Every individual reliance ties us down and prevents us from thriving. We feel good when some of these reliances are met, extremely good on the rare occasions when most of them are met. But we are actually giving away our power and agency and putting our well being in the hands of people and forces that we cannot control. For example, on your way to work or to drop your kids to school, you would like the traffic to be light and drivers around you to be polite and well mannered. If, or rather when, it doesn't turn out that way, you get worked up, stressed out, and the day goes downhill from there. Neither the traffic nor the behavior of the other drivers is in our hands, and more often than not, we neutralize the stress and tension generated by such outside factors mindlessly by relying on unhealthy but soothing habits like doom scrolling on our phones, gorging on sugar, carbs, or junk food, or drinking alcohol or smoking. I'll give you a super quick gist of the book so you know what you can get out of it. The book talks about listening to our own bodies and understanding its signals rather than relying only on experts. It tells us how to become experts of our own bodies. It talks about a reliance on perfectionism and holding ourselves up to impossible and unrealistic standards and how that has a negative effect on us. It talks about people pleasing and the need to be liked by others. It talks about embracing discomfort in order to become more resilient and to discover what you're capable of. Something he says in that chapter about discomfort is very interesting. He says, physical exercise is the intentional practice of controlled discomfort. Rewind. Physical exercise is the intentional practice of controlled discomfort. When you push yourself to walk or run a little more than usual, or lift a few more pounds, or swim 2 extra laps, you are pushing the boundaries of your comfort, and as a result, you become stronger, more capable, more resilient than before. And the same principle can also be applied to pursuits which make you emotionally or mentally uncomfortable, like giving a presentation in front of 500 people. In one chapter, he talks about our reliance on things never going wrong and how to face adversity. In another chapter, he talks about our reliance on the past and building our ability to let go and move on. When you buy the book, you can go to his website and download a bonus PDF that you can use to reflect on all 9 chapters. It's a good mental exercise that inspires you to think about a lot of important points. It's a book with innumerable takeaways. Each chapter is an umbrella that covers a lot of issues. The best part is that it is written in a way that each and every reader can relate to the book in their own way, depending on their own life experiences. To explain what I mean, I will share my top 3 aha moments in the book.
Speaking my mind.
Right off the bat, in the first chapter itself, Rangan Chatterjee talks about how our bodies emit signals that are a bit like birdsong. Most of the times we are so busy that when the birds are singing, we don't hear them. We block them out. We do the same with our bodies. That is exactly how I ended up in the emergency room in the middle of the night. So the lesson is learn to listen to your body. While reading the fourth chapter about practicing discomfort, I was reminded of an uncomfortable trip 2 years ago. I trek and I travel to places without running water or electricity, but I hate sweating. I manage, but I crib and probably irritate people around me. I was in Tuticorin in Tamil Nadu for my daughter's basketball tournament. She was with the team, and I was staying on my own elsewhere. It was October, and there was a clammy, salty kind of heat that made my face and arms and legs break out in rashes. After 3 days of intense discomfort and no one to crib to, I got over it. Now I purposely spend some time in summer without a fan or AC because ever since I got over the I have to be cool and comfortable at all times hang up, I've become less cranky and more adaptable while traveling. I do not want to lose this adaptability. So, practice discomfort. In the seventh chapter about reliance on the past, Rangan Chatterjee says start with zero. He's talking about conflicts in our personal relationships with others and how our past interactions and experiences color our perception about that person in the present. So he says every so often we should reset the relationship and start with zero. Behave like you are new to each other and listen to each other without bias. The concept blew my mind. And you know what? I realized that we should apply this principle to ourselves. We have these preconceived notions or set ideas about ourselves which often have no basis in reality. But we refuse to let go of them. Like, I'm no good at drawing. I'm not a morning person. Basically, I don't think I can do that belief, whatever that may be. If you decide to start with zero with yourself and set aside these limiting beliefs, imagine what you may find yourself capable of doing. I have decided that every so often I'm going to start with zero with myself. One of the best things about the book is that when Rangan Chatterjee talks about becoming minimally reliant, he's not talking about turning us into islands in a sea of humanity. He's not talking about cutting ourselves off from the world. He is showing us ways to tune into our inner world so that we can function much better in the outside world. I have underlined so many passages in the book that I could do an entire episode of quotes from the book. But I'd say start with zero is the best of them all. Instead, I'm going to talk about a new word that I learned in this book.
The VoCab.
The word is interoception, not introspection, but interoception. It is the ability to be aware of internal sensations in the body, such as heart rate, respiration, hunger, fullness, thirst, temperature, and pain, as well as emotion sensations. In addition to the five basic senses of touch, smell, taste, sight, and hearing, interoception is the very useful sixth sense that allows us to self regulate. For example, on a hot day, when you understand your body's signals of being thirsty and get yourself a glass of water, you save yourself from getting dehydrated. I like this word, interoception. Now let's look at the LINEDSCAPE rating of the book.
LINEDSCAPE Rating.
Up there is a link to the video that explains my LINEDSCAPE book rating system. All the parameters are rated 8, 9, or 10 today. You might wonder, what am I giving marks to characters for since it's not a story? Well, there are a lot of case studies and examples which make the book interesting to read. That is the character part of the rating. I must mention the aesthetics. That's a trademark of all Rangan Chatterjee books. They are rich in content but also very aesthetically pleasing with a lot of beautiful, vibrant photographs. There may be one too many photos of the author himself, but then he's a good looking guy with a great, inspiring physique. So I think he can be forgiven for a bit of vanity. Overall, the score is 90 over 100, which makes it a 4.5 star book. Now it's time to put my thoughts.
In a nutshell,
Make Change That Lasts by Dr. Rangan Chatterjee is a self help book in the health and fitness category that actually helps. Whether you're recovering from a bout of illness or simply looking to up your mental and physical well being, it's a book that has something for everyone. It's a thought provoking book, and the tips and techniques are doable and worth putting into practice. I recommend buying the paperback version because it's a well designed book with beautiful pictures. The quality of paper and printing is excellent. And holding it in your hands and looking at the pictures will enhance your pleasure in reading the book. Definitely a book to read and display on your shelves. If you like this episode, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell icon, share with your friends and family. Do visit the Reading Lamp every Friday for a fresh review. I am much better now and working on how not to miss any more Fridays. This is Asavari signing off for now. Have fun under the reading lamp. Switch on, read on.